Deloitte has done, we're told, some work on the budget ahead of tomorrow and has come out with a report highlighting what the focus should be on. Yaulati is a financial advisory partner at Deloitte, an auditing firm, and he's joining us on the line. Mr. Lati, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. First of all, tell us about this project.
Yes, so thank you very much. So every year before the budget, we do a survey of sending out questionnaires to the business community for them to come up with some of the key concerns and expectations in the budget. So this year we did the same thing, and then a report was submitted. I think at the launch of the event, the Deputy Minister of Finance, Abna Osayasari, herself was there. And so we collated the results and then we submitted to the Ministry of Finance. And so the expectation is that some of the business expectations that were shared by the business leaders will be incorporated in the upcoming budget tomorrow.
I see. So what did the business community say to you? What are the key things?
So there's about four main concerns that businesses are worried about, things that worry business leaders in Ghana. So the first one is the issue with taxes. So the primary concern that businesses are worried about the fact that year on year we are introducing new taxes in addition to enforcing existing taxes. So that's now the primary concern of business, that is it the case that we are going to introduce a new tax, or we are going to have the existing tax laws enforced. Businesses will rather have the existing tax laws enforced rather than the introduction of new taxes. The second issue of concern for businesses, the fact that some of the taxes that have been there have sunset clauses or are supposed to have sunset clauses. A very good example is the COVID levy. Ideally, when the COVID got its peak and then we are now out of COVID, supposedly, these levies should have been scrapped. But they are still there. And COVID levy is an example. There are other taxes and levies that have sunset clauses. But the sun has never set on these taxes. And they are still there, and they've been there for about 10 years, and we are still charging. So that's the second concern of business. The third concern of business, the cost of doing business. And the cost of credit is a key driver of the cost of doing business in Ghana. So you've seen continuously the central bank increasing the policy rate. What that means is that the cost of credit is going to increase. And so what we're saying is, or business community is saying, that at what point will the central bank pull the brake on increasing the policy rate and other drivers of the cost of credit in Ghana? So that's the last one is what we've seen the revenue authorities doing, swooping on businesses. It's a key concern for businesses, and I think it's something that businesses are worried about. That look, some of the things that GRA is pursuing them for, they were laws that were introduced not too long ago, and yet they expect business to implement them almost immediately. Some of them, it was very difficult for GRA to implement some of them on their own, but they're expecting business to implement them almost immediately. So these are the key concerns that we gathered from business community.
I see, but is business opposed to revenue generation? Because the issue of taxes and how they are collected is geared towards generating revenue for the state. What are the options that business is proposing, business community members are proposing, to the contrary to what government is doing?
So generally, in exercise of tax and enforcement of taxes, you have about three main approaches. So it's enforcing or compliance, ensuring compliance with existing tax laws. The second one is amendment of existing tax laws. So where you have a VAT, so VAT is still there, but you increase it from 12.5 to 15%. That's amending an existing tax law. And then the third one is the introduction of a tax that has never existed before. EN levy is a very good example. We didn't have any tax like that in the system. So historically, you see year on year, the third option seems to be preferred by most governments, successive governments, where we are introducing taxes year on year. It creates uncertainty. So businesses are not opposed to payment of taxes. What they are saying is, can you rather enforce existing taxes, bring a lot of people into the tax net, something that we've been seeing year on year, but we never seem to enforce it. So there are so many businesses that are doing good business, making significant profit, but that are not paying taxes. They are outside the tax net. So do you rather want to implement policy that will bring a lot into the tax net than keep taxing the faithful few? So that's something that business are concerned about. So they are not opposed to taxes. They are not opposed at all to payment of taxes. Their concern is the introduction of new taxes year on year. That creates a lot of uncertainty for them.
I see. Now, these findings you've given to the government, you see, do you know whether it will be incorporated in tomorrow's budget presentation, or this is just an advice which may not be taken?
So I think over there, I think we got some form of assurance from the Deputy Minister of Finance, Honorable Abna Osei-Asare, that a lot of the concerns raised by business had already been submitted by other groups. And so they believe that some of them will be incorporated. So we also believe that to a large extent, I think the key concern is not necessarily about businesses trying to avoid taxes. It's just about making sure that we are creating the right environment for business to thrive. Because our scoring on the ease of doing business around the world, it's actually not too good, and we are not performing and doing well. So it's not the case that business in Ghana, it's even it also affects our rating globally. So I think government will have to take it serious and incorporate it in the upcoming budget tomorrow.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Yes, you're welcome, Omar.
That's Yao Latte. He's a financial advisory partner at Deloitte.